guys, welcome back to my channel. So on this episode of Wellness Wednesdays, I wanted to talk about some common side effects for semaglutide. So for those of you that are new here, hi, I'm Emily. I make videos about fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, and this is a new series we're calling Wellness Wednesdays, and it's all about semaglutide. Let me first start out by saying I am not a doctor or a medical professional. I'm just on here to share my experience using semaglutide with you because I didn't know that much about this drug going into this, but I have learned a few things. I've been taking it now for 13 weeks, going on 14 weeks, and I just wanted to share what are some of the common side effects with you. So since I started semaglutide, I now have one family member and one friend who is also started to take it, and they had reached out to me saying, Emily, what side effects did you notice? Is this part of it? Is this side effect normal? Is this? I just wanted to share some of these common side effects that I've had and that some of my friends who are also taking this drug have noticed. And I'm going to share a little bit about what I've done to try and combat those side effects. So side effect number one, the first one that I noticed while on semaglutide is heartburn, indigestion, okay? So I noticed the first night after my first injection, I was sitting in bed and I just felt like some heartburn coming on, and I'm like, oh boy, I knew that indigestion was one of the side effects. So I ran and grabbed some Tums from my medicine cabinet. These are just generic Tums here that I grabbed. But now I always keep some Tums or some sort of antacid in my purse. I have some at work because they have come in so handy, because heartburn is not fun. Sometimes it can help you not be able to fall asleep. And I did notice that I was getting it like right before bed. So what are some things you could do to try and avoid heartburn and indigestion? The first one is the Tums, and I will say I have to use them, 1 to 2 times a week, depending on what I've been eating. I do notice that if I've had a lot of carbonated beverages, I really love like LaCroix sparkling waters, but I will notice that if I've had a few too many of those, I will notice indigestion that night. So maybe cut back on your carbonated beverages. Also like spicy foods and anything that's like a tomato base, all the usual culprits for indigestion and heartburn. Just try to keep those to a minimum to avoid that unfortunate side effect. Also, I have noticed that for me, if I do get number 2 side effect, which is nausea, if I do get some nausea during the day from my semaglutide, I will pop a couple of these Tums, and that seems to help me with my nausea to just make it go away also. Some people do like the ginger tablets, like the ginger chews, and that works for them. I've never tried them, but just for me, the Tums works for both, so I just always have them on me. But another thing that helps with the nausea is not eating as large of a portion at your meals. Listen, this is a whole different way of life being on this medication. You can't go into this thinking you're going to keep eating the same way, as big of a portion, as much food as you would before. Because if you do that, you're not going to lose any weight. It's all about calories in, calories out. This is just a tool to help you feel less hungry and to help you feel full faster. So you can out eat this drug. You can, and you're not going to lose any weight. So you have to really work on your mind about portion control, eating smaller portions, eating healthier proteins, trying to stay away from breads and fried foods. But I have heard also that people that eat steak and like fattier meats have more nausea. So that might be something too. I haven't personally noticed it because I have Factor meal delivery every week, and I always order at least one filet mignon, and that's like my special treat for the week. And I haven't noticed any nausea when I have that meal, so it could just be specific to certain people. But I will say that if I've had any sort of fried food, that does affect me that way. And the next side effect that I noticed on semaglutide injections is the constipation. But right behind the indigestion, the constipation was my worst side effect. It was pretty bad. I think it started on week 2. And I went, guys, like 6 days without going to the bathroom. And I know, sorry for the TMI, but you need to know this if you're going to take this drug. I went 6 days. It was very uncomfortable. I thought maybe I was like poisoning myself from the inside. I thought I was going to have to like go to urgent care or something. I didn't know what to do. Thankfully, I was watching another YouTube video that mentioned magnesium. So I added in a magnesium tablet every night before I went to bed. Number 1, it helped me sleep better. And number 2, it did help with constipation. Now this one is okay. This one I just picked up because I ran out of the one that I really like. I'm going to link that one down below. It's available on Amazon, and it just has a couple different types of magnesium mixed together. Certain magnesiums are better for sleep and certain magnesiums are better for constipation. But if you get a mix of the different magnesiums, it's way better because then you get both. And I think most people are, like 70% of the population is actually magnesium deficient. So it just never hurts to add some magnesium into your diet, especially if you're, in your 40s like me and I'm like perimenopause, when you start to like wake up in the middle of the night, because that's fun. Adding some magnesium in is just a really great idea. I'm going to link one down below. Everything I'm talking about is going to be linked down below. I have an Amazon storefront. You can go in there and just boom, 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 click and get everything that I'm talking about. It's just super easy. The next thing that helped me with my constipation is taking a daily probiotic. I really do like this one from Garden of Life. It's 40 billion CFUs, but it's also the Feminine Daily Care Probiotic. So this just helps with like urinary tract support also. So this is great for help your stomach maintain a healthy balance and your urinary tract a healthy pH. So this is like a twofer. I love this one, and I will link this one down below. Okay, so you've got your magnesium, you've got your probiotics, you're still constipated. Now what? Water, my friends. I was not drinking enough water. Why? Because I wasn't as hungry. My hunger cues were low. So I noticed that I wasn't in turn drinking a lot of water because my stomach is getting full from the food. And trying to drink water when you're full, it's just kind of hard. So I had to start putting my water right next to me when I'm at work, leaving it right there, and reminding myself that, hey, do a little bit of work. Every 10 minutes, take a sip, because you're not going to be able to drink a ton of water in one sitting like you used to be able to. Your stomach just can't. So take sips throughout the day. I try to fill this up 3 times while I'm at work. Sometimes I can, sometimes I don't make it. But I just do the best that I can, because what I noticed is that when I would go to the bathroom, finally, they were like rocks. I was so dehydrated. The more water you drink, the more your system's going to be able to flush out your bowel movements, and everything's just going to work the way it should. And yes, so water is essential when you're on this medication. And this is interesting because I saw a family member over the holiday, and she was giving me how she's doing. She's doing amazing. She's lost over 30 pounds. We were talking about she's on a different type of this medication, but same thing. And she was saying that everything's going great. She doesn't have any side effects, except that she's always dry. She always feels dry. She has dry mouth. She wakes up and her mouth is like the desert. And I'm like, oh my gosh, same. I thought it was just me, that maybe because I like to have a little White Claw when I get home from work, that it was too much alcohol was drying me out or something. No, because I have looked it up and other people have said the same thing. So that's something else I learned. So another thing that helped me with the constipation was going outside and taking a walk every day, no matter what's going on, even if I have to do it on my lunch break at work. Just going for a walk, moving my body has helped me immensely. I went through 2 really horrible weeks of constipation and just trial and error. And I will say that just taking my water and going for a walk, if I can get my walk in the morning before work, that's ideal. But if I can't, I'll go for a walk during work, or when I get home, I just get my butt out there before I even make dinner and go for a walk and get my walk in then. But I try to walk, 20 to 30 minutes every single day. So the next side effect that people report when taking semaglutide is diarrhea. So I've not personally been affected by diarrhea, quite the opposite. My problem is the constipation. But I will say that I got a little overboard when I first noticed the constipation, and I took a few too many stool softeners because I was waiting for them to kick in and waiting for them to kick in. And after 6 days of not going to the bathroom, I kind of panicked. I took 6 stool softeners in one day, and then I did have some diarrhea. So it was not related to the medication. It was just because I had taken too many stool softeners. But I mean, I was panicked. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? And the last side effect that I wanted to touch on is the lethargy, the tiredness. So my injection days are Tuesdays. I take it Tuesday night before I go to bed. The next day, I feel a little bit less hungry, but I don't really feel side effects until the 3rd day. So by Wednesday, I am tired. I could lay down and take a nap in the middle of the day, except I work full-time job, so I can't do that. But I am definitely just slower on Thursdays. And I think it's okay to not push yourself if you're tired. Just have that day to just, take extra care of yourself. If you can lay down and take a nap, great. But if you can't, then to just take it easy on yourself. Don't plan any workouts that day. Don't do anything strenuous that day. Just kind of take it easy and take care of yourself, because, you're not helping anyone if you're running yourself and making yourself sick because you're running yourself ragged, right? That's not good for anybody. So the only other side effect that I will mention about this medication is sagging skin, but I'm going to do a whole different video on that one because that is just I have a whole lot of things to say about that. So stay tuned for that one. And thank you so much for watching another installment of Wellness Wednesdays. If you have any side effects that I did not mention, pop them down below. I would love to hear. I mean, this is a whole brave new world and we're all going through this together. So I would love to learn more about any other side effects that people are experiencing. I'm just fascinated by all of this. I love being able to have this community to share ideas and thoughts. And thank you to everyone who's been here with me and come along for this ride and watching all these videos and leaving really kind messages of support. Thank you so much. It means more to me than you know. So thank you guys so much for being here with me. I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I don't have a ton of extra energy. I go home from work, I could make dinner and then just go to bed. And I've done that. I don't have the energy to do anything extra, and my family knows about it and everyone's okay with that. So they all help out. So I just think that that is something to be aware of, that you might just feel like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? No, it's just common. It's a common side effect is to feel tired. Some people feel it the next day after their injection. I feel it the day after that. So usually for me, that's Thursdays.